We've got Angela back. We're waiting for the others to come back, and we're coming back, and I'm back. Here we go. We're waiting for the other two to join us. Let me see. We got to get Bill back, and we got to get. Oh, this is awkward. I'm so sorry. Hold on here. Let me get Bill
I'm not
back.
sure that they'll come back.
Oh, they will come back. Let me go and let me find them. Jordan, hold on. Let me
No
get
problem.
them. Okay, let's see if we can get them back. Come on back. Hold on. I'm going to go and just pause whatever you have to. Come back. Come back. Come back.
Yeah,
Come
I mean,
back.
I figured out that I
No.
had to back on in order to do this. So I
Okay.
had to go through and come back on again. So
There
if
we
you
go.
can, they're coming.
No, I'm waiting for them. They should join back. They should be back here in a second. So let's see if they come back. I think they know. And we lost our viewers, but we're live streaming again. Jordan, this is really awkward. This has never happened before on a live streaming show, but at least we got the first half hour in. Let me see. I'm actually going to have to phone call these people and tell them to come back. Let's see if they answer their phone. So, Jordan, have you got any music or anything you play? Angela, just keep talking about quantum while I do this, okay?
Okay, I will. I would love to.
Thank
So,
you. Go ahead.
one of the things that most people love about it is that you can change your past. We didn't know that until we studied the quantum world. Since everything is recorded in our quantum waves, we thought it was our brain, but our consciousness is really in our quantum waves. And they can be changed much faster than the brain. And when you replace them, with what you really want, your brain does change. And so you find out where you're stuck. And I use something called skin resistance or muscle testing. It's a way to test your system of what's
They'll come
really
back on
happening.
Zoom
So
Live
you can
waiting for you.
ask,
Bye.
well, what age am I frozen at? So let's ask Red, can I ask about you?
Sure. I'm trying to phone call
Okay.
the other guests to get them back. So
Keep
just go
going.
ahead.
I'll just do this without you if that's
One more
okay. And
phone
then
call. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
when we need you, we'll call you back. So
Bill
I'll
is
ask
back.
about Red
Bill
because
is
she
back. Keep
wants
going.
to change her past and she told us that. So let's change it. So what age is Red frozen at? There's Bill.
There's Bill. And let me
Yay,
see if I can
Bill.
get Vivienne back. Where's Bill? Okay, there you are, Bill. Thank you. Sorry about that. I'm calling Vivienne now. Go ahead.
So
Angela is giving us a little thing about. Go ahead, Angela.
what age is Red frozen at? What pattern age is she frozen at? Is she 5 years old? No. Four? No. Three? No. Two. She's frozen at 2 years old.
Me?
The terrible twos. And that's why she loves to just be so true to herself because that's what the terrible twos are about. They called them terrible because nobody could control them. Well, they can't be controlled. And that sure sounds like Red. She is her own
Vivienne, it's
human
Red. We're
being,
back online.
so
Come back, please,
creative.
right now.
She is changing and saying whatever she likes that is very respectful. So, is there anything about 2 years old, Red, that you would like to
Oh,
change
honey,
or to replace?
we're not going to go back there, but I want to ask Bill, is there anything about you being 2 years old, Bill? Let's see, join you in on this. We're waiting for Vivienne to come back. Go ahead, Bill.
I can't for the life of me remember anything about being 2 years old.
No, he's 4 years old. He's
Oh,
not
he's
2 years
four.
old.
Okay,
He's
that's
Or I,
fine.
it's
or
a
I remember there's some memories there.
There
so
are
what
some
I
memories
do
there.
is I ask them to tell me, Bill, you want to tell me one of the memories you'd like to change, and I'll tell you if it's important for you to change.
Well, I
And
don't
you can
know that I'd
change
like to
it in
change it, but I do
Two
remember
2 minutes. Go ahead, Bill.
my dad was building a house and I was found to be up on the roof walking along a rafter trying to get to him before when my parents looked up and saw me wandering along this plank. I remember that quite well. I almost gave them both heart attacks.
But
And how
did you get punished or anything? Is there anything
No,
that bothered you?
they were just
So
glad I
that
was alive.
yeah, really. That's not the memory that's freezing you. What memory is free? There's something else that happened maybe that is like standing in your way a little bit?
Not
Something that Was it something about being serious? Did you like take on a responsibility or something that you didn't really need to?
not at 4.
Not at 4. I'm going to move
4 to 5. Okay. Well,
Angela,
that's how we work.
you've been absolutely lovely filling in for me while we were we're waiting for Vivienne to come back. I've called and left a message and emailed. Bill, thanks for joining
Okay.
again. My camera just decided to go blank, and that's the way it goes. Bill, I have one of your creativity statements pulled up here, and I'll have one for Angela in a minute. And Bill, I'd like you to just tell us a little more. You say, as a photographer, I always try to be prepared, but sometimes you just don't have the tool you need. I was taking close-up pictures at the Salvador Dali Museum when I noticed very tiny details in some of the paintings. To get that close required a micro lens, and mine was hundreds of miles away. I remembered a class on optics that said photo lenses had different properties when reversed. I took the lens off the camera and held it tightly reversed. It worked, though awkwardly. Bill, fill in the rest of the story. This is fascinating. Go ahead.
Well, it actually did work, and I got some amazing pictures with it. It's not something I would recommend because it wasn't the easiest thing I've ever done, but I was able to get some very close-up pictures of one of Dali's paintings, and it looked like, so the detail, he had to have used a single thread, a single hair in a brush to get things that small, and it just was absolutely astounding.
Wow. Hmm.
And how long did it take you to figure this out, Bill, to decide to flip it, to be creative and get outside the boundaries, break the box,
I
basically?
don't
How
know that it
long did
was a time frame. I just thought, well, I'm here and I won't be back anytime soon, so let's give it a shot. And it worked.
Very, very cool. I'm looking for a statement from you, Angela. We only have about 12 minutes left. So you say, I'm creative when I perceive living through my visioning, my originating, and my initiating. I've perceived that I am quantum triplets. My quantum waves are actually communicating, aiding me in my creative expansion and my dreams. Talk to me a little bit about dreams. Do you have different types of dreams as a quantum follower, uh, Angela,
They're
than I would have
all
or
in.
that Bill would have? Go ahead.
Well, remember I said that the quantum waves are our consciousness? Well, when we dream, our quantum waves are informing us what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks if we don't change something. So we can take the dream, embrace it, face it, and embrace it, and replace it with what we really want, and turn the dream around to exactly what our true desires are. And that's what the dreams are about. And I have all of the stories you need to know in my workbook that'll tell you what the house means, what the car means, because the quantum world speaks in pictures, not words. So pictures are very important, which is why creativity is so important, because most of the time, the people who are creative, like Bill, he's thinking in pictures. And so am I. And when I do something that I feel really proud of or happy that I did, in that moment, I'm living my purpose. And that's how I read people's purposes. I ask them to make a list of 6 times in their life they did something they were proud of or they were happy they did. And people write them down. And then I pick one that gives me the best words to write out their purpose. And when I found out my purpose, my goodness, my whole life changed. I stopped being an acupuncturist and I became a quantum life coach, telling people about their triplets. And I help
Thank you.
people to listen to them.
Thank you very
Angela,
much. Go ahead, Bill, please.
I was going to say, I heard something in your background about the Hopi Indians.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was very fortunate in that I'm the first white man allowed to photograph on the Hopi reservation.
Really?
You're
What
kidding.
year was
Which,
that? Bill, what year and where?
That would have been about 1978.
where are
And
the pictures? Where
the
can I see the
you
pictures?
can't. They're in my basement because part of the deal was none of these pictures could ever be used on a commercial purpose. We used them as a report to the Senate on how the money was being used in disaster recovery on the Hopi Reservation. And I did get permission to use one picture in a cover for a magazine. But other than that, the pictures are all going to the Hopi tribe for their records.
Oh, beautiful. That's great. And it's
That's a
true.
lovely story. Go ahead,
I
Angela.
was a photographer too, and I wanted to publish this beautiful culture, which was quantum based. That's why I became a quantum person, because the Hopi were living it, and I knew we could live it too. But I promised them I wouldn't publish them. So I'm trying to write about them in my next novel without using their name, Hopi. And I don't know what to do about that, Bill. If you have an idea, I'd really appreciate
You
it.
two are going to talk after the show, Angela. You can.
Right, because they were visited by extraterrestrials on top of the San Francisco peaks, and they told them to build their ceremonial places called kivas underground, and if they ever saw a mushroom in the sky, they should go down and stay there for 2 months. And they have done that. They've put enough water and enough food to take care of the people of their village. And they have many of these kivas to take care of them. Did you know
I've been
that,
in
Bill?
them. I've been in them.
Oh, so
Really,
have I. Wow.
really,
Yeah, let's
very,
talk later.
very cool. You two have each other's emails. I'm sorry we didn't get Vivienne back. What I'd like to do is I have some special, we have about 6.5 minutes left. I have some events and famous birthdays and not famous birthdays for today, January 6th, and what this month is all about, because it's the first show of the new year end of the month. So on this day in 1935, anybody remember Nino Tempo and April Stevens, who had a song called Deep Purple?
I
Anybody remember?
remember the song and the
I
Okay.
remember
names.
the song, yeah.
He was born on this day in 1935, and in 1963, he had the number one hit on the pop charts with a duet with his sister April Stevens called Deep Purple. On this day in 1940, Van McCoy, remember the hustle? He was born in D.C. He had the 1975 disco hit Do the Hustle. He also wrote 60s hits for Gladys Knight and the Pips, for Donny Hathaway, and for Jackie Wilson. I didn't know that. Talk about many careers. In 1957, on this date, Elvis Presley made his third and final appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show. He performed 7 songs in 3 segments, including Hound Dog, Don't Be Cruel, and Heartbreak Hotel. He was only seen, Bill, you'll love this, from the waist up. That was The Ed Sullivan Show. Oh, nobody
I
wants to see those
remember the situation.
Swivel hips, that's right. And they said that the viewers were speculating what the audience was screaming about because they couldn't see him doing his swivel hips. So that's so much for censorship, right? Then on this date in 58, which was the next year, Jerry Lee Lewis hit number 2 with Great Balls of Fire. It stayed there for 4 weeks and it was knocked out by Danny and the Juniors at the hop, da 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 da, at the hop, da da. Remember that, Bill? And
I
remember that?
remember it well.
I do too. They stayed there in number 1 for 7 weeks. On this date in 64, the Rolling Stones began their first headlining tour in the UK. And you'll never guess who the opening act was. Ronnie Spector and the Ronettes opened for the Rolling Stones. I was really surprised because their music is so very different. On this day in 68, Gibson patented their Flying V electric guitar. Interesting. I know where all these facts are buried here. On this day in 73, Carly Simon's You're So Vain hit number 1 on the Hot 100. Listeners were wondering who the mystery man was in the apricot jacket. I don't know if they ever found out. Bill, was it you?
Yeah, I was there.
You were there. Okay. You're so vain. On this day, 3 years later, Frampton's live double album, Frampton Comes Alive, was released. It was powered by his talkbox sound and became one of the best-selling live albums in music history. I thought that was interesting. In 79, Barbra Streisand's Greatest Hits Volume 2 hit number 1 in the U.S. The same year, the same day, the Bee Gees' Too Much Heaven hit number 1 for the first of 2 weeks. Here's something interesting. In 1998, an 11-year-old named Z.A.C. Hansen became the youngest songwriter ever nominated for a Grammy when his debut hit MMM Bop Don't even ask. Was considered for Record of the Year and Best Pop Performance by a duo or group with a vocal. Don't even ask. And Bill, this is for you. And I have 4 minutes left. 1999, photographer Annie Leibovitz did a picture of the Backstreet Boys. It appeared in a print campaign with milk mustaches to promote milk as a beverage. Remember the milk mustache
I
campaign?
remember.
Annie Leibovitz, one of the most famous photographers. Happy birthday to Kate McKinnon, the comedian from SNL. Love her. Happy birthday to Eddie Redmayne, the actor who portrayed Stephen Hawking in the 2014 film The Theory of Everything. Happy birthday to Julie Chen from Big Brother and the Talk. To Ree Drummond. Ree was on my radio show. She's the pioneer woman, and her cookbook was famous, and she started a blog that went absolutely viral before we knew the term viral, showing people every step of the way cooking. She married a rancher. Bill, I think she was from Chicago, and she met a guy in a bar, and they fell in love and got married. Angela, I need you to look straight ahead. Angela, keep looking. We're not done yet. And Ree Drummond married the rancher, and they had a ranch, and it was very interesting life, and she is a major best-selling cookbook author. And Rowan Atkinson is 70 today. Mr. Bean. Okay. Today is the birthday of the King Crane, who's a 31-year-old on YouTube, and he has 1.6 billion views of his video, Bill. 1.6 billion. Can we count that high? He
I
does
can't.
Grand Theft Auto mods, whatever that means. Maybe my engineer knows. Jordan, Tom and Jerry, SpongeBob SquarePants, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and other media properties. Happy birthday. Then there's a competitive eater named Kevin Strail, who's 41. He only has 3.1 million subscribers, and his persona is the LA Beast. We'll leave that one alone. And we have a man named Taylor Watts on TikTok who's 23. Happy birthday. He's got 5 million followers and 40 million views, and he does relationship skits with his wife, Sophia. That's all I can tell you. He was pranked into tasting a spoonful of salt, and that video got 40 million views. Bill, God help us all. Today is national holidays: Apple Tree Day, Dry Bean Day, Mr. Bean. I've got 2 minutes left. National Bean Day, National Cuddle Day. Everybody cuddle. Give yourselves a cuddle. I wish I knew where Vivienne went. National Davis Day, Samantha Day, and Smith Day. If you know them, tell them happy day, not birthday. Take a Poet to Lunch Day. That's us. And Take Down the Christmas Tree Day. January is the month of apples and apricots, artichokes and asparagus, hot tea, milk, oatmeal, meat. Prune breakfast, I'll skip that, no need.
Whoa.
Wheat bread, I know. Soup and slow cooking, veganuary, dry January, and machine bread baking. And it's the month of Be Kind to Your Food Servers. It's Get Organized Month. It's International Brain Teaser Month, International Creativity Month, Learn to Ski and Snowboard Month, I'll pass. Clean Up Your Computer Month, National Hobby Month, Mail Order Gardening Month, order a plant. And it's Polka Month. I used to dance a little polka. Skating Month, Train Your Dog Month, and Walk Your Dog Month. So here's the closing, and then stick around and we'll see what we're going to do in a minute here. In 2014, my closing was the top 10 tips for women. And the number one was Aspire to be Barbie. The biatch has everything. I wanted you to know. 10 years before the movie came out, Bill. You can laugh now. Okay, here we go. Here is my closing. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. Kiss slowly. Love truly. Laugh uncontrollably. Join me quickly with a laugh. Oh, you're good. And never ever regret anything that made you smile. Work like you don't need the money. Dance like no one's watching. When I taught dancing, they watched. Sing like nobody's listening. Love like you've never been hurt. We all have. Money talks. Chocolate sings. La. And I stole this line from a host years ago. Thank you for turning me on. Radio Red. Happy New Year. Thank you to Jordan,
Thank
Voice
you.
America. And don't go away. Jordan, are we out? Bye.